after 2 weeks in the international break, and this is a team. De Gea, Valencia at right back. I'm thinking who's fit. Rojo and Smalling. No, what am I on about? Rojo and Bailly. Luke Shaw at left back. Fosu-Mensah, Michael Carrick as a midfield 2, with Mata ahead of them. On the right, Mkhitaryan. On the left, Anthony Martial. And up front, Marcus Rashford. A very, very, very good side. A very exciting side when you think that Zlatan's out, suspended with Herrera. Pogba's potentially injured. Rooney's fit. And Fellaini would be on the bench, and we're concerned. But I'll tell you now, I've made a big error putting Fosu-Mensah in that midfield, because there's more chance of Arturo Vidal playing for Manchester United on Saturday against West Brom than there is of Fosu-Mensah. It will not happen. There is zero chance of it happening. So I think that Jose Mourinho's team will probably be along the lines of De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Bailly and Rojo centre-backs. Very happy with that, by the way. He'll play Blind or Darmian at left-back. He's not going to play Shaw. He'll play Carrick, Fellaini and probably Rooney as a midfield 3. Mkhitaryan should be on the right. I would imagine he might play Lingard, maybe putting Mkhitaryan on the left and not playing Martial and putting Rashford up front. People forget. I mean, obviously I don't like that team. I think Mata should play. I don't think Rooney should be in a midfield 3. But Rooney's fit. Rooney just didn't get picked by England. And the interesting thing about Rooney is that he didn't get picked by England. Luke Shaw did. He's fit. He can play on Saturday. And he probably will play in the midfield 3, because we've only got Carrick, Fellaini. There's no Herrera, there's no Pogba. I would throw Fosu-Mensah in there. Of course I would. I think against West Brom, we need to sort of surprise them a little bit. We need to have a little bit of pace. And we need to have a little bit of dynamism and tenacity. And we won't have that no matter what you think about Fellaini or Rooney, or even Carrick for that matter. And I love Carrick. They will not be able to give us that. But Mourinho's not going to do it. And I think we may as well just forget about it. Hope he's on the bench. But he won't be playing in the midfield, not in a million years. And why would he play him at right back when he's got Valencia? So don't get your hopes up that Fosu-Mensah will have anything to do on Saturday, other than hopefully wearing a tracksuit and sitting on the bench and drinking a bit of water, because he won't be starting. Interestingly enough, Paul Pogba might be back for this game. There is rumours that Paul Pogba might be back. And I really hope he is, because I think the midfield is what concerns me the most about the Manchester United side, if I'm totally honest. West Brom are not a bad team. They're not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. And they will come and have a go. They're doing really, really well. I think they're about, are they 9th or 10th or 8th in the Premier League? Darren Fletcher, obviously, formerly of Manchester United. They've got that, in the engine room. People like Matt Phillips, I don't know whether he's going to be injured. Very, very good right-sided midfielder. Chadley, decent at Spurs, done well for them. Rondon, out of form, but you can guarantee he'll be back in form. And then their defence is just, the big thing about West Brom, literally the big thing about West Brom, is they've scored the most corners than anybody. I mean, it really is a tale of two extremes on Saturday afternoon, because we couldn't score a corner for a bag of toffees. West Brom, they do score corners. I think they've scored 14 in the Premier League, which is just ridiculous, but just shows you. I mean, I was talking to somebody down the pub last week and they said, scoring from corners is dead, I'm not worried about United. Well, and I mentioned West Brom, and they nearly spilt their beer. Because they are very good at it. We are not very good in the air, and I think if I was going to say the biggest concern I would have about West Brom, other than them dominating a slow midfield, is if we give them opportunities to put the ball in the box, because Rondon is good in the box anyway, but then if they get corners or set pieces and they send the likes of Macaulay and Dawson up, then they will cause us problems. Which is exactly why Marouane Fellaini will play, which is exactly why I had a bit of a fallout with a few people on Twitter today. It wasn't Fellaini hate. Fellaini's actually on the front of my desk there. He's doing very well at the moment, and we need him as part of a squad player. But what frustrates me, as I suppose an old school Manchester United fan now, I've got my birthday coming up in a week or two. I'm still in my 30s, don't worry. But I am old school, and I don't. When people start saying we need to play Fellaini because of his height, because West Brom are good in the air, I understand where you're coming from, but it's almost like that's your default. We're Manchester United at home to West Brom at Old Trafford. The first thought should be to attack, and if we are fitting Fellaini into the team just because they're going to be a threat from in the air at the expense of playing somebody like a Mata or a Creator, then that frustrates me. Fortunately, I think Fellaini could play in a midfield three with Carrick, and we could have Mata ahead of him. I do not want to see Rooney starting in the midfield. I think we would get run over. But West Brom, the funny thing about the West Brom game as well is that we've been so frustrated at home this season, so frustrated by games we should have won. But West Brom and Tony Pulis are exactly the sort of team that you would expect to come to Old Trafford, frustrate us and grind out a 1-1 or something like that. So hopefully, when we've dropped points against teams we should have beat at home, hopefully we can just get 3 points against them on Saturday and build into what is going to be a fantastic week, hopefully, for Manchester United. It has to start off with the 3 points against West Brom. But if we beat West Brom, we've got Everton at home on Tuesday, which will be fantastic, and it's got the added attraction of Lukaku, what I always call Lukaku a big game bottler against Manchester United. He never turns up and disappears into somebody's pocket. I hope he does on Tuesday because I don't really want him to turn up, but I know all you Lukaku lovers, it's a chance to see if he is Manchester United quality. And then the following Sunday, it's Sunderland away, which we should be winning. So if we get 9 points in the next week, I'll tell you what, top 4 is totally and utterly on. I think it's in our hands anyway. We've just got a hard run in. But we've got to win these 3 games. And I'm very excited that we can do that. How do I think we'll beat West Brom? I'll tell you what, I am excited about it. And people go on, oh, Zlatan's injured. And I've got a fantastic stat I want to come to you in a moment with. And I don't really like stats, but it's around free kicks. We are moaning about the fact that, well, let's have a look at our injuries. Smalling and Jones, to be honest, they get a lot of stick from United fans. I don't agree with it, about Smalling especially, but they're out. I think everybody's first choice centre-back pairing probably is Rojo and Bailly, so that's a positive. So those injuries actually, well, you know what, if one of them does get injured and we need somebody to come on, you've got Daley Blind who can play there, you've got Twansibi who can play there, you've got Carrick who can drop back there. Some people would prefer them to Smalling and Jones anyway, so are they a big loss? As squad players they are, but are they a big loss? Herrera and Pogba, I agree, you'd have them in your first team straight away. That is the problem. The midfield is the problem, and we got away with it in the last game against Borough. We need to get away with it on Saturday. But I think the way you get away with things in life and in football is to go on the attack. Don't defend when you are weak because you invite the pressure. So I think the way to beat West Brom at the weekend is they know our midfield's weak. Is to try and attack them. And to play with an expansive side. Carrick's got to play because he can move the ball fast over 40 yards on the ground or in the air. But the thing that excites me about Manchester United is I know that we are missing Zlatan. I appreciate that we're missing Zlatan. But when I look at the players that are available, your Matas, your Mkhitaryan's, your Martials, your Rashfords, your Lingards, there's a lot of pace, there's a lot of creativity there. Of course, if Zlatan's fit, you want him to play. But I'm totally confident in them players. Martial, Rashford, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Lingard. I'm confident there's 5 of them there. They can't all start. A couple of them will be on the bench. And I'm confident that they can cause us, the opposition, problems. But we've got to use them. We've got to get at West Brom. And for all the positives about West Brom's defence, and they are very good in the air, they're all quite old. They're all quite slow. And that's how we cause them problems. And the great thing about Zlatan not playing, if there is a great thing about Zlatan not playing, is we won't see what we've seen in the past with lower level teams like Burnley coming and playing 10 yards off the halfway line and playing a huge, massive, a high line. They won't do that. They can't do that. West Brom can't play a high line on Saturday because they'll get absolutely suicide with Rashford and the pace there. Will he start Martial? I hope he will. I hope he does. I know it's been an interesting 2 weeks with talks of Mbappe coming and the Griezmann stuff, and it is interesting, but it's a game we've got to win on Saturday, and I think we will win it. I think there's no reason not to think we will. I think there'll be a lot of games in it. I think there'll be a lot of goals. I think 3-1 is interesting. But one thing I did want to touch on here, and it's a fantastic article on our website, theunitedstand.com, and it's by Jason who's done it, Jason Bowditch. You can go and read the full article, and it's about Manchester United free kicks this season. And a really interesting thing here, because my interpretation of our free kicks this season is it's normally Zlatan, apart from the League Cup final, kicking the ball into a wall, and our free kicks are almost becoming as redundant as our corners, that they're a total waste of time. The exciting thing on Saturday is that Zlatan can't take a free kick. Obviously, Pogba can't unless he's fit. So people like Mata and Mkhitaryan, who I think are decent at free kicks, can stand up. But you know what? I'll say it when I'm wrong, and I can back it up when I'm wrong. And this article by Jason is absolutely eye-opening. Right, from the the stats for this season for free kicks for Manchester United. Zlatan's had 12, he's scored 2, so 1 every 6. He's put 6 into the wall. 50% of his free kicks go into the wall, but he's scored 2 from 12. Pogba's had 5. He's hit the woodwork twice, which isn't bad. That would suggest that this season Pogba's hit the woodwork twice. I know Zlatan scored twice, but 2 from 5 hitting the woodwork is better than 6 from 12 for Zlatan. Rooney's had 3 free kicks this season. He scored that one against Stoke, obviously. And Mata's only taken 3 direct free kicks this year. He's not scored any. He's put 2 into the wall. He's had 2 saved and 1 into the wall. However, the biggest thing is, why does Zlatan take free kicks then? Because yes, he's scored 2, but he's taken well over 200% more than anybody else has taken. But in their careers, in their actual football careers, because I had a PSG fan contacting me the other day about Zlatan saying he's rubbish at free kicks. In his career, Zlatan has played 517 matches and he scored 16 direct free kicks, an average of 1 free kick every 32.3 games. However, we've also got the stats about Mata. Mata has scored 8 direct free kicks in his game at an average of 1 every 56 games. Rooney scored 9 at an average of 7 every 77 games. And Pogba has only actually scored 1 direct free kick in 243 games. So 1 every 243 games for him. David Beckham, he scored 24 direct free kicks in 552 games at an average of a goal every 23 games. Now, stats can be misleading. You can dress them up however you want to. And the reality is, Mata may not have had as many free kicks. We don't know how many free kicks Zlatan's taken in his career. He might well have scored 16. He might have had 16,000. I don't think Zlatan should be on free kicks, but there is a little bit of a backstory there that out of everybody in our squad, Zlatan has scored the most free kicks by quite a considerable way. In fact, Rooney's played over 150 games more than Zlatan has, but has scored 7 less direct free kicks. But I would, like I say, I would imagine that Zlatan's probably taken a lot more free kicks, and he's certainly not very good at them this season. I would agree with that. So, big game for Manchester United at the weekend. As I said, I don't expect Fosu-Mensah to play. I really do not. But I really hope that Anthony Martial plays because, as I say, West Brom have this... They're great if you've got a fantasy football team, which I have. Not Zlatan. Why does he come into my mind? West Brom, I have 2 defenders because they score a lot of free kicks. I always have Macaulay in there. He scores a lot of corners, sorry. They do... I haven't watched a lot of them this season, but what they have done in the past is they'll play like Macaulay, and it used to be Olsen, but I think Johnny Evans plays there now. But then they'll have Dawson at left back, and their fullbacks are normally centre backs as well. And that is good because it makes them very good at defending corners and scoring corners, as we know, and good from set pieces. But they lack pace. The way to beat West Brom on Saturday is to use the pace, to use the width, to use Rashford. And Martial should start on the left. He's not been away with France. He's had 2 weeks off. He should be very, very fresh. We've got a massive April. 9 games in 30 days is ridiculous. So we've got to use the squad. We know that Herrera and Zlatan are going to be back for the Everton game. They're fresh. So use Martial. Use Martial on the left. Use Mkhitaryan on the right and use the pace. Put Rashford up front. Pace. You're going to push them back 10 yards. That's why it's really, really important that Mata or Mkhitaryan, depending. I think they both need to play. But one of them two's got to play as the number 10 because we are going to push West Brom back to the edge of their box. So that means the number 10 becomes very, very important. I said this at the start of the season. The number 10 can sort of dictate how you play as a team. And we were playing Rooney there and we were shocking because Rooney's not a number 10 by any stretch of the imagination anymore because his ball distribution just seems to have deteriorated. And it's not on the level of Mata or Mkhitaryan anyway. So Mata or Mkhitaryan are key with the pace around them. If you played a Rooney, Fellaini, Carrick midfield 3, then I feel that Rashford, Martial and whoever's playing on the right would struggle because they wouldn't be getting the quality of ball, the threaded passes, and that's why a number 10 like a Mata or Mkhitaryan are really, really important against West Brom because they have got a slow back 4 and pace will be the key. I think defensively we're quite sound as long as we can restrict the amount of corners we give away and the amount of set pieces we give away because I think Rojo and Bailly are a good centre-back pairing and hopefully they can build a partnership now. Valencia's a beast at right back. He may well play Ashley Young. But would you play Ashley Young against the side that is good in the air? He's about 4 foot, and that's on tiptoes. I think Darmian will play, is what I'm coming to. And I don't agree with that. I would play Ashley Young over Darmian. But this is not my decision. And I've got to not be a hypocrite there, because I'm saying I wouldn't pick Fellaini, to be honest. I would rather play Fosu-Mensah, Carrick and Mata as a midfield three, because it's dynamic and there's more tenacity in there. I understand what Mourinho will do. He 100% will pick Fellaini if he's fit for the height, and he won't play Luke Shaw. He won't play Luke Shaw, but he won't play Ashley Young at left back either, because he will want pace. He won't want pace if he's playing Darmian. He want height, and Darmian is the tallest, so he will play Darmian. I think maybe Blind, because he has played centre back, but more likely Darmian. There's an interesting comment in the Deepak saying Luke Shaw ? He's not going to play Luke Shaw, is he? He's not going to play Luke Shaw. While I'm having a little drink there, I'd like to have a rest. I am live. Please do drop a like on the video. It just lets us know that you like the channel and you like the content. It's one little click. I know a lot of you are great and you normally will do that for us, so please do drop a like. I've done that bit. What if Fellaini is injured, says somebody. What if Fellaini is injured? Well, I tell you what, I don't know why I'm trying to be an Australian cobber, but if Fellaini is injured, then we all have a party. No, I'm only joking. I don't want Fellaini to miss out on Saturday. But if Fellaini was injured, you know what I would do? Because Herrera's out, Pogba's out, I would, and this is only, I would play Fosu-Mensah. I would, a lot of you would, but it's not going to happen, so I'm not going to entertain it anymore, because, like I said, Vidal's got more chance. But if Fellaini was out injured, as much as it pains me, because he wouldn't play Fosu-Mensah, I would play Carrick and Rooney with Mata ahead of them, and I would put Mata, I would play Rooney. Because we're out of options on anything else. Tag747 says congratulations on 74,000 subscribers. I hadn't realised we'd gone past that today, so thanks for everybody who's subscribed over the last few days to knock us past there. International break and that, I've sort of not really been paying any notice to that, but fantastic. And we are very, very much, we are closing in, aren't we? In fact, let's get an exact figure on this. Old Trafford capacity. Exact figure, 75,635 at the moment. Now that's going to change because of the disabled seating that's going in. It's going to reduce anyway, but we're not far off. Be fantastic to get there, won't it? And hopefully we will do that before the end of the season. Tyrone Williams says Luke Shaw has never been liked by Mourinho. Good luck to the lad when he moves on. I'm baffled as to why he doesn't rate him. Yes, I would agree with you, Tyrone. I still think he'll stay. I didn't put him in my 5 players that I think would definitely go, did I, when we did that on Tuesday? I just want to say thanks to everybody, because the international break, I hate it. But I really appreciate that Manchester United needed this international break. They did need it. We were on our knees, tired, fatigued. We needed it. But as a fan, I'm selfish and I hate it. And I've really missed the football. But the content on the United stand for the last 2 weeks has made it fly by, and so has your involvement. I mean, we've had videos on an international break with over 1,000 people watching live. We've only got 785 now. We're 2 days off, for less than 48 hours off a game. So thanks for everyone who supported us and got involved over the international break. It's fantastic, and some of the content's been brilliant. And I must just remind myself about this. You're going to get a bit of a nugget here. We've obviously been doing a little bit about transfers, because I love transfers, you love transfers, and it's going to be a great summer. But we need to park that a little bit now. I was talking last night about how Di Marzio said that Bayern Munich are top of the queue when it comes to signing Griezmann. And I tweeted him about it and I said, I love you, Di Marzio, at Di Marzio. Follow him on Twitter. He's brilliant about Manchester United. Most of his tweets are about Italian football because he's Italian. But when he does tweet about Manchester United, he's well over 80% right. And I'll tell you what, if you can find anybody who's over 80% right about transfers, then that is fantastic, because most papers and media outlets, especially in this country, they aren't right even 10% of the time. So, I mean, I get stick about getting Embolo wrong and Lindelof wrong, but we've got a lot right as well, and a lot of it comes from Di Marzio and a couple of others as well. So we try to adhere to that, but Di Marzio is fantastic. So I did tweet him and I said, and I don't want to sound arrogant with that, I tweeted him expecting him to reply, because I didn't. He has replied to us in the past, but he did reply to this. I said, Di Marzio, I respect you. I think you're fantastic when it comes to Manchester United transfer news, but on Griezmann to Bayern, you're wrong. He won't be. They're not top of the list. And he came back, and I'd misread the Italian article, because I can read Italian, and he'd obviously not that well. And he said, I didn't say that Bayern Munich are top of the queue to get Griezmann, I said that they want Griezmann. So that's a little bit of a clarity there. And then somebody, a follower of the United Stand, replied to one of those tweets and got a reply as well, because they said, Dimarzio, what about Mbappe to Manchester United? And he replied and he went, all I'll say, Jose Mourinho loves him. And that's the second time this week Dimarzio has mentioned Mbappe and Manchester United. So if you are a bit of a gambler and you can get decent odds, I would be looking at Mbappe to Manchester United. Probably more than Griezmann at the moment. I still think Griezmann will come, and I don't think they're exclusive. I think you could get both. Indy Tagger says Mbappe will sign if we pay more than the other teams. Dimarzio said stop YouTube. He did. He said stop with the transfer news. It's only March, but he's all right. He gets on with us, Dimarzio. He knows we shout him out a lot, and I think he appreciates that. What's this? Hirsch Puri. You know that you only exist because for the fans, and you listen to the fans and our comments. This is why I come back here to your channel. Well, thanks for that. Tyrone Williams, Dimarzio was right about Pogba. He wasn't just right about Pogba. He was right about Pogba about 3 weeks before anybody thought Pogba was possible. The same with Zlatan and the same with Mkhitaryan. I don't think he mentioned anything about Bailly, but those three he was right, and he was right a long, long way before anybody. As Anton says, he's a legend, which he is. And I thought I'd seen a live a super chat comment. I have. Richie CR says, any chance of Blind playing alongside Carrick? Richie, no. I think there's more chance of it than Fosu-Mensah starting, but I think this is you often get this with fans. I think it's a bit of a myth. It's a bit of a myth. Paul Jones, I don't work for Manchester United, no. I don't. But it's a bit of a myth. Is Mbappe better than Griezmann, says Jake? I think they're two very different players. One will be an absolutely amazing striker and the other one's a number 10. John Maloney tries to watch all the United Stand videos. Well, remember we're live at 8:30 most nights, virtually every night really, but you can always watch it back, not live. The Blind thing in the midfield, sorry. No, I think it's just a fan theory, and I'm not saying it's a bad theory, but I don't think Mourinho will ever play him in the midfield at all. Obviously, Louis van Gaal tried it at the start of the season he signed Blind. I remember him scoring against West Brom away when we came back from 2-0 down, or we got a 2-2 draw, and he scored quite late on with a lovely finish. But even Van Gaal gave up on that. And the reason is, Daley Blind, I don't see him as a centre defensive midfielder because he's so left-footed. And I think as a CDM, you've got to be able to go on your right foot. Otherwise, you're just very obvious. And all midfielders pretty much can use their weaker foot and use it quite well. And I don't think Blind's very good with his right foot. So I don't see him as a CDM. I don't think he's strong enough as a CDM. And I don't think he's mobile enough as a CDM. But that's my thought. I don't think it will work. Right, I have to go to Snap. I'm just going to go to Snapchat because I've just realised I did do something. We are on Snapchat, United Stand MUFC. And I normally Snapchat something out, so if you have Snapchat you will get on. There's only a couple of you. Toby Cutler.
It's no question Fosu-Mensah should start.
Toby Cutler said there's no question Fosu-Mensah should start, and Harry says
19.
He what? See if we can get him back.
19 of West Brom's 39 goals have come from set pieces. Fellaini has to start.
19 of West Brom's 39 goals have come from set pieces. That's from Walker 93, and Fellaini needs to start. What a stat. Nearly 50% of their goals have come from set pieces. However, Harry, it's a great point, and I'm sure a lot of people are saying, oh, Fellaini needs to start. What a great point from Harry. But as I said, I'm old school. I don't really care if West Brom have scored every one of their 39 goals from a corner. Go up the other end, entertain the Old Trafford crowd and batter them, because we're Manchester United at home. We've got a better team. I don't like this, oh, they're good at this, so we've got to defend against that. We've got to put somebody in the team to stop them doing that. That's not the approach that Sir Alex Ferguson had. That's not the approach Manchester United have traditionally had. I don't think it's the approach Mourinho will have, but I really hope that we don't. And I'm not saying Fellaini shouldn't start. I'm just saying, actually, you know what? If I could pick my midfield on Saturday, it would be Carrick, it would be Fosu-Mensah, and it would be Mata or Mkhitaryan at 10, and then the other on the right. It won't happen. He will pick Fellaini, and I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to moan about it. I can see the merit of it, and I know a lot of you want it to happen, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I would go with that, and I think what we'd have with a Fosu-Mensah and a Mata and a Carrick as a midfield three is real good tenacity and breaking up of the play, Kante sort of esque with a Fosu-Mensah. The maturity and ability to dictate the play with Carrick, and then Mata is that number 10 that's so important to use the pace of Martial and Mkhitaryan and Rashford all around him, and I think we'd win the game. But you're right, we will definitely play Fellaini, and West Brom are good in the air. I can't lie. We've got a few now. Nathan, yeah.
And do you not think that Mourinho will start young at centre midfield ahead of someone like Blind or Fosu-Mensah?
I think he'd probably start Romero in centre midfield ahead of Fosu-Mensah, if I'm totally honest.
I think Luke Shaw will play against West Brom and have a good game, hopefully. And Mourinho will play in the future, hopefully.
That was from Neil Abo 1103. He thinks Luke Shaw will start on Saturday. Don't waste your money on any bets, mate. I'm really telling you now, he won't. Joe Rizzi.
Fellaini and Fosu-Mensah?
Play Fellaini and Fosu-Mensah. Well, he could drop Carrick, I suppose. I would hope not. Joshua Rodwell.
Have you heard any updates about Pogba playing tomorrow?
He's not playing tomorrow because it's Friday, but I know what you mean. I'm not going to be facetious, Joshua Rodwell. I have heard that Pogba might be fit on Saturday. And I think that's only because of Mourinho, who said yesterday, it looks like we'll be out without Pogba on Saturday. Pogba shouldn't be playing on Saturday, but there's talk that he was going to be back for the Sunderland game anyway. If he's a risk, I wouldn't play him anyway, because we've got a massively important April. But stranger things have happened. I think he is a player who recovers quite quickly, and he plays a lot of games, so be interesting to see if he does. Blake the Great.
You're the best YouTuber on the planet, man. Love your vids. Keep it up, lad.
Oh, that's nice of him. Blake the Great. He is great because he said, I'm the best YouTuber on the planet, which, to be honest, even I know I'm not. But it's nice to get nice comments sometimes, isn't it? I've seen all this... I'm not even going to comment on it. All the stuff on Twitter at the moment. We're not part of it, so it doesn't matter. Carrick with Lingard and Mata is good enough in midfield. Lingard would be a little bit lightweight Man United fanatic, I think. Juan Mata in central midfield, says Indy Tagger. Not really centre midfield, as the number 10. Remember when we played Leicester? And I think it was those... We beat Leicester, and then we had a couple of games against Burnley and I think it was Stoke, where we played really, really well. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. And what he was doing, he was playing Herrera, Pogba, Mata as a midfield three. Mata's not a midfielder. He's more the head, the sort of number 10. So you have your box-to-box, your sitter, and then you have Mata as the 10. And I would do that on Saturday. I don't think he will, but I would. Jose setting us up right for next season, says General Zod. Jose is going to bring out all the tall players, Carrick, Fellaini, etc. And Mbappe's not coming, says Darth Vader. Blake, your check is in the mail, says George Kyle. And what's the point of signing someone like Kylian Mbappe when we got Marcus Rashford, says Aaron Evans. But we've only got two strikers. Remember, we've only got Zlatan and Rashford at the moment, who are out-and-out strikers. Rooney probably goes in the summer. Remember when we won the treble, and in 2008, we've had the likes of Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney, Berbatov as options, and Sahar. We've also had 99, like I say, Cole, York, Solskjaer, Sheringham, and that was 10 and 20 years ago. The game's even faster now, so you do need to have four strikers. I think the only problem with four strikers this year is that Zlatan just wants to play every game, and that means that because we only play one striker, it is quite restrictive. But I think we need three strikers at least, and Mbappe can play out on the left, so I wouldn't rule that out. I don't like doing that. Everton will finish 11th this season, says Pogba Hilarious. Mark, what do you think of Ronaldo's new statue? It looks like Niall Quinn and Arsene Wenger's love child. That's what it looks like. RJ says Jose wants a strong forward that is all round. Ibra was just to get him started short term, but Jose prefers a striker like Drogba. I think he does. I think somebody with a bit of pace who can run the channels is exactly what we need. Gylfi Sigurdsson, says Gunnar. I was talking to somebody about Gylfi Sigurdsson at work the other day. I remember when Gylfi Sigurdsson, who was at Swansea at the moment, was a good player about 2 or 3 years ago. How old is he? He seems to have been around for a long time. I certainly wouldn't put him as a Manchester United player. He's a good player, but I wouldn't put him in that Manchester United category. I really wouldn't put him in a top 4 team category. But he's a good player, but not for me. Rondon to Man U, says Fooley. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. He's in fact, he's been pretty rubbish the last few weeks because I've had him in my fantasy Premier League team and I've took him out because he's rubbish. He's been rubbish. Well, he'll probably turn up against us though, won't he? Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoyed it. Please do drop a like on the video. We are less than 48 hours to a Manchester United game, and then April's going to be fantastic because it's my birthday. No, because there's a game every 3 days, and I know that's hard on the players, and I know Mourinho's going to start moaning, but can he moan that much? Didn't replace Memphis, didn't replace Schneidlin, let Schweinsteiger go. I don't think you can moan about fatigue, Jose. You knew it was coming, and letting Schweinsteiger go was a bit criminal if you're going to moan about fatigue. So hopefully he won't do that. But for us as fans, it's so exciting, so much to watch, and not only just if it's not just enough to watch Manchester United, but some fantastic games as well. Anderlecht, an opportunity to watch Yuri Tillemans if you've never seen him before, and I've certainly never seen him play in Premier League opposition, so that's going to be exciting over 2 games. If you're a Lukaku fan, we're playing Everton on Tuesday. It's a traditional game for them to bottle it against Liverpool and then play us a few days after and turn up. That's what Everton normally do. And also Lukaku, if you think he's good enough, I think he's a bit of a big game bottler. I hope he doesn't prove me wrong on that. And then just so many games, and most importantly of all, 3 games in a week, all Premier League games. If we take 9 points from them, Arsenal are playing City on Sunday. It sets us up very, very well for the rest of the season. Thanks for watching. I'm back tomorrow night at 8:30. I've not decided what I'm doing yet. I think I'm going to do a FIFA Predicts, not a FIFA Predicts, the tactics thing I normally do on my channel, but I don't know whether I might just do it on this channel as a one-off. Let me know in the comments. I will do something tomorrow night at 8:30, but I might do my preview on my channel at 8 and then do something on here at 8:30. I've not decided, but there will be something at 8:30 yet. Thanks everyone for watching. Speak to you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you want a little bit of tip of something to watch and you are based in the UK, Last Kingdom on BBC Two is fantastic if you like Game of Thrones. If you've not watched it, it's episode 3, but you can catch up and watch episode 1 and 2 on iPlayer. And it's also, I think it's got season 1 on there if you've not seen that. Very, very good. I really like it. I'm going to go and watch it. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.